Well, damn. I was gonna make a video about the boys, but I kind of want to talk about this now. Mr. Beast. We all know him. We all love him. Well, most of us love him. But if there's one person on Mr. Beast's team that deserves hate, it's Chris Tyson. Now, in my early years of watching Mr. Beast, I enjoyed Chris. He was entertaining, but I had more of a soft spot for Chandler the most. Chris just seemed like Jimmy's sidekick, his number two, and that's how it was for his pretty much his entire duration of the Mr. Beast channel. Chris was always just somewhere nearby. In 2023, Chris came out as trans and shocked pretty much everyone. Honestly, didn't even know about this until like well after it happened because I didn't really watch Mr. Beast at the time as much as I used to, and I don't use social media, so I'm always kind of slow when it comes to learning about internet drama. But recently, I've been seeing a whole lot of shit coming up about Chris. I wasn't going to talk about this because I saw the info and thought, wow, that's pretty weird, but I don't think it's enough for me to want to talk about. Oh, fuck this. Before I discuss Chris some more, let me throw a new contender into the ring. Shadman. He's an artist who loves to draw lolis. What are lolis, you may ask? Oh, you sweet innocent child. Well, actually, it's pretty much that. It's a child. Lolis are a type of character from stuff like manga and anime, which is really just a doorway to pedophilia. It's like how there are gateway drugs like weed or nicotine are considered gateway drugs to shit like cocaine. Lolis are supposed to be girls that are said to be hundreds or thousands of years old, but they actually look six. I'm pretty sure it's actually illegal to own loli art that's depicted to be sexual or depicts them in a sexual manner, which is exactly what this guy Shadman does. Dude, I fucking searched some of this shit. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable anymore knowing what I saw. Like I should have guessed I was gonna be scared because when I googled the images, when I went to Google Images, it literally asked me if I wanted to blur some of the images. The shit I saw that was borderline illegal, and it's fucking wild. But anyway, this video isn't about Shadman, it's about Chris Tyson. And you might be wondering, what's this Shadman guy have to do with Chris Tyson? Everything! As far back as 2017, Chris said that he owns Shadman drawings and even displays it in his living room. What what the fuck, dude? I felt weird just hanging up a poster of Nami's One poster from One Piece in my own room. How the fuck do you hang loli art in your living room and be okay with it? I didn't see anything saying that the art he bought was loli, so let's pray to God that it wasn't. Ah, fuck me. So yeah, it turns out he wasn't lying. Chris actually bought the image of Keemstar's like 7-year-old daughter drawn in a sexual manner and hung it in his living room that he was apparently sharing with Mr. Beast at the time. Alright, quick note, post editing here. I made a mistake that isn't Keemstar's daughter, thank God, phew. But that doesn't take away the fact that he did make fucking porn of her being like raped and shit. But that is just Loli. That's not actually Keemstar's daughter. I made that mistake. I'm sorry, but yeah, it doesn't take away the fact that it's still fucking weird. Apparently, Shadman went on to draw like several other pictures using Keemstar's daughter, but including one where she sucked Donald Trump's cock. Oh my. Okay, so it's one thing to sexualize a loli from an anime. All right, I'm not saying that it's okay. It's still really fucking weird, and you shouldn't do shit like that. But at the very least, it's not a real person. But this shit, what the fuck? This isn't defendable. It's not defendable to draw it. It's not defendable to own it. Like, this is an actual child that you're drawing porn of. Like, there's nothing that you can say to defend yourself. Shadman also went on to keep on harassing this poor child by calling her an IRL loli. Like, how fucking disconnected are you from reality to see just this child and be like, that's a real life loli over there? Like, oh my god. Dude, go touch grass or something. I don't even know what to say to that, dude. Like, besides, kill yourself. Like, oh my god, Jesus Christ, save us from this shit.
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it! He won't.
Okay, yeah. Maybe he just appreciate the artwork, you know, and maybe he's just making edgy jokes with these, right? Jesus fucking Christ, why would you say that? Why? That's the equivalent of saying, I fucking love diddling kids!
Do not diddle kids, it's no good diddling kids.
There's also been newer leaks where Chris private messaged some guy who was 13 at the time. Now, these messages to me really don't seem that weird. These are the type of messages I would send my friends, but the main thing you need to remember is Chris at the time was about 21 years old, and this dude was messaging a 13-year-old. So it's kind of weird, especially when you throw in Chris's past with lollies and all that shit. The first message is Chris saying, "I'm coming to America." Like I said, it's not really that bad. Then Chris tweeted about how if he got one more Patreon, he would release his nudes. Slightly innocent joke, and the same dude replied showing he donated $1, and Chris said, "But not $5? Pathetic. JK," and then added a kissy face, which the emoji itself just seems to bump up the weirdness to me. And lastly, Chris posted a photo of a girl. I don't know if that was his girlfriend at the time or what, but this guy responded with, "Does she know about your hentai addiction?" Once again, it's really not that bad. I've definitely said to one of my friends before, but in the context of who Chris is and the ages of these two players, I gotta say, it's definitely on the weirder side. Apparently, Chris is being dropped from Mr. Beast. I can't confirm whether or not it's because of these lolly comments or if it's something else that was going on behind the scenes, but Chris did tweet confirming his leaving and apologizing if any of his past comments and jokes hurt anyone. And people have been saying that people change and that those comments were from 7 years ago. And to that, I say this. Are you also not the type of people who would find someone who made a joke about a black person 10 years ago and fight to make sure that person's life is ruined? You'll go as far back into a person's digital footprint until you find one joke they made about gay people and say, "I can't believe this person said this. They need to be canceled." But then here's this dude who's quite literally friends with a dude who makes porn based off of children. I'm all for edgy jokes, I love them. I love a good edgy joke. Balls! See, wasn't that so edgy? Wasn't that funny? Wasn't that so off topic? But there's a difference between saying something messed up as a joke and saying something messed up and meaning it. When you say something awful as a joke, you say it once and move on. But Chris has made way too many comments for this to be considered just his old dark sense of humor. I don't know. It's not my place to decide for you. You're your own person. I'm not here. I'm just here to present facts, and you can do with it as you please. You can make your own decision based off of what I've told you. But something that I feel like I'm not seeing a lot of big creators talking about this. It's mostly been like smaller channels that I've been seeing talk about all this drama, but I feel like it's something that not a lot of people are talking about because since Chris is trans, they're scared to touch this topic with a 10-foot pole, and they're because you know talking about a trans person in a negative light always results in people being like, "Oh, you're just saying that because you're transphobic." Like, no, I'm saying this because they were messaging minors and they were liking photos of child porn. It doesn't matter if you're gay. It doesn't matter if you're trans. It doesn't matter if you're straight. I don't care about any of that. When you start looking at child porn, that's when I care. And I'm like, okay, you're a dangerous society. You need to fucking get off the internet. Sorry if any of the facts that I presented weren't like I didn't present them within the right context or I didn't give enough information. I don't really use Twitter. I don't like using Twitter. I don't like using most social media. YouTube is pretty much like my main form of social media, so this is where I'm getting all my information from. So if I got anything wrong, I'm sorry, but this is pretty much all I have to present. So peace. Alright, so let's speed on this real quick. I recorded this video before Mr. Beast posted his response to all this, and it does seem like he's removing Chris from any form of Mr. Beast and is distancing himself from Chris because of this lolly shit. He said that he has his own group of investigators to go through everything, but now people are putting everyone at Mr. Beast under the spotlight, saying they should have known Chris was like this, especially Mr. Beast himself, since they were best friends and lived together for some time. Now, I agree with the statement that Mr. Beast probably knew about all this. I mean, look at this pic. He's literally staring at the artwork that Shadman drew and Chris hung up. But at the same time, it's not like Mr. Beast was the one consuming this artwork. So I think, while he could be criticized for not taking action long ago, he's not entirely at fault and shouldn't be canceled or deplatformed for something like this. Also, everyone bring up the old clips of Mr. Beast saying, like, faggot and asking about putting his dick in the Catch Me Outside girl is retarded, because those are examples of having edgy humor without being a creep, considering the time that in which he said all that, and right after the Catch Me Outside girl comment, he said that it was meant to be a joke, especially considering that she was like 14 or 15 at the time. Okay? Alright, cool? Alright, for real this time, peace.
I remember Chris saying that Bad Baby Cash Me Outside. Remember, she's made about $55 million from OnlyFans, one of a bad reflection of American culture. But I remember when I was working for Mr. Beast, like in that time of 2017, 2018, I remember Chris saying, like, isn't she hot? Isn't, like, Cash Me Outside girl, isn't she, like, 14? Is she 14 years old? Yeah, it's jailbait. And I'm like, what?